What if the thing you have been fighting your whole life was never your enemy? What if the exhaustion you feel, the frustration, the resistance, the constant pushing back was not a sign that you need to fight harder, but a sign that you need to stop fighting altogether? This is the story of a boy who learned that, and the wind that taught him. In a valley where the wind never stopped, there lived a boy named Soren. The wind came every morning. It knocked over his bucket. It scattered his papers. It tangled his hair. It pushed him sideways when he tried to walk straight. And every morning, Soren fought back. He argued with it. He shouted at it. He built walls to block it. He planted trees to stop it. The walls crumbled. The trees bent sideways. The wind kept blowing. He tried again the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. Every morning, the same battle. Every evening, the same defeat. And yet every sunrise, the same clenched fists. His neighbors simply wore their scarves. They laughed as it pulled their hats away. They let their kites fly high in it. They turned their faces toward it and closed their eyes. Soren watched them and felt something he could not name. Not jealousy exactly, something quieter, something like hunger. There was an old woman at the edge of the village. She was the oldest person Soren had ever seen, and she was the stillest. One evening, he found her outside her cottage. The wind was terrible that night. It howled through the trees. It rattled every shutter in the village. But she sat with her eyes closed, and she smiled. "How?" Soren asked. He did not say what he meant, but she understood anyway. She opened one eye. She said, "I stopped trying to win." Soren waited for more. There was no more. He walked home slowly that night. He lay awake for a long time. The wind shook his window again and again, and he thought about what it would mean to stop trying to win. Not to give up, not to go weak, but to simply stop declaring war on something that was never his enemy. He did not understand it fully yet, but something in the words had landed somewhere deep, like a seed dropped into dark soil. The next morning, the wind woke him as always. He stood at his door. He breathed in, and for the first time in his life, he did not clench his fists. He just stood. The wind pushed at him. He swayed a little. He did not push back. It pulled at his coat. He let it. It carried the smell of pine from the mountains and rain from somewhere he had never been, and the faint, sweet smell of something blooming far away. He had never noticed any of that before. He had been too busy fighting. He stood there for a long time, longer than he had ever stood still in his life. And something in his chest, something he had been holding tight for years, slowly, quietly, let go. From that morning, things were different. Not because the wind stopped, it never stopped. Not because Soren became someone else, he was still himself. But he had learned something the wind had been trying to teach him all along. That some things do not respond to force. That some things cannot be defeated, only accepted. That peace is not the absence of difficulty. Peace is what happens when you stop declaring war on things you cannot change. He still wore a scarf now. He still lost his hat sometimes. He still got pushed sideways on windy days. But he laughed when it happened. And that was everything. There are winds in every life, things that push at you, things that scatter what you have carefully arranged, things that refuse, no matter how hard you argue, to stop. You cannot win against the wind, but you can learn to move with it. You can learn to feel it. You can learn to stand in the middle of it and be still. There is a kind of strength the world rarely talks about, not the strength to push harder, but the strength to open your hands, to breathe, to let the wind blow through you instead of against you. And in that stillness, you might find that the wind was never your enemy. It was just the world breathing. What wind have you been fighting that you might, today, simply let blow?